My heritage is Black British. My family originate from the Caribbean, from Jamaica, from a parish called St. Catherine's in a village called Spanish Town. My family's migration to the UK basically stemmed from being a part of the British Commonwealth. The Queen came over to the Caribbean many years ago, and she asked the people of the Commonwealth to come to the UK to help rebuild the UK after the Second World War. The Commonwealth have been massively, the islands of the Commonwealth and other countries within the Commonwealth have been massively involved in British history, from being alongside soldiers in the First World War and also in the Second World War, and then coming to the UK on rolling rotation after the Second World War to help rebuild the country. And that's how my heritage began in England and in Britain. So my grandparents came over, and my mum came over as part of the Windrush generation as well, and they set up home in the UK, in Nottingham in England. The one thing that sticks to mind from what my mum and my grandparents have always told me, and other family members that came from the Caribbean to the UK, is that they were told that the British pavements were paved with gold, and that was a traditional thing that everyone always said. We were told that the streets were paved with gold and we could come and earn lots of money, and that was the intention, was to come here, work hard, earn money to go back to the Caribbean, build a home and so on. But obviously things change, you know, people make friends, build relationships when they move over to another country, they get settled, their kids are settled, and then generations stay and carry on and so on. So to me that's heritage, to me that's part of being black in Britain, that's being part of the black British history in the UK, just a part of it. There's a lot more, but that's just a part of it, and that's brought me to where I am, to being here from that point. I think it's significantly important to raise awareness of black history, because in many aspects of life, black history is not necessarily recognised as much. Specifically, us working in education, you will know when it comes to black history in education, whether it's in primary, secondary school, and potentially even in, you know, further education and beyond, black history is often limited to specific things, i.e., you know, the transatlantic slave trade and so on. So there's more to history before the slave trade and also after the slave trade, which, you know, black people played a significant role in. So with Black History Month, it gives an opportunity to shed some light on that, which is very important. It gives us an opportunity to shed light on things like the roles that individuals have played in mass inventions and creations of things within society. There's a lot of things in the world that people don't understand black people have been created, you know, down to the traffic lights, down to the first roller coaster was invented by a black person. There's so many other inventions. The first open heart surgery was done by a black person. You know, the invention of electricity. Okay, we all know who people say it is, but actually, you know, when you look at different history, scriptures and books and so on, there was more to the invention of electricity, and it wasn't just by Edison and whoever people think it is. So there's a lot more to shed light on in respects to even things like, again, us being in education, you know, the smartest people in the UK in respects to GCSEs are young people of African heritage. The smartest family in the UK are of African heritage. So there's a lot of things we can shed light on that people won't be aware of when it comes to black history. So it's very significant having this opportunity, having this month, having this time to shed light and open people's eyes on other aspects of black history away from the typical limited aspects such as Martin Luther King and things like that, Rosa Parks, and obviously we are significant people, but there's other people in the UK as well, especially that have significant roles in black history that we can look at. Windrush generation, for example. Akala, who's one of my favourites, is a historian, and he's someone that people should listen to, research, because he's significant in British black culture as well as British black history.